Hey guys, welcome back to my studio. I'm going to paint a still life. It's a camera and a suitcase. I'll link this reference video in the description. My daughter collects old cameras and I think she's got a couple old suitcases too. So I'm looking forward to this one. I wanted to change it up and get a little closer because I like to zoom in a little bit. So I cropped it and I put a little bit of color in Photoshop in the background. So that's what I'm thinking. It's going to be on a 12-inch by 12-inch cradled wood panel. I've got clear gesso on it. It's 1.5 inches thick. I don't know if this is going to matter much, but I want to paint a layer of yellow oxide on it first. I think it'll warm it up a little bit more. I'm going to mix the yellow oxide with cad yellow, probably a little bit of black, a little bit of quinacridone, and a little bit of white. If you don't want to mess with that, just use a yellow oxide. That'd be pretty easy. Okay, guys, let's have some fun. Let's set the table. I had trouble starting this one after I transferred the image onto the yellow gold background. So I started with parts of the camera and a small little number 2 round brush from Royal and Langnickel because I didn't want to lose these little shapes. And so that helped me feel a little bit more confident. And then I wasn't sure how much I wanted the gold background to come through. So then I just decided, well, I'm going to have this darker, like this could be a wall, especially with the up and down strokes, and this could be a table. And I've got a little bit of the gold coming through, but I also saved my background palette so I could put some of that gold color on top. And that's where if I had used the yellow oxide, I could just put more out. But since I mixed it, it doesn't look this dark, but it dried down darker. Oh, here you can see it there. I'm assuming it looks lighter on my palette. Oh, not all that much lighter when I look in my phone. So that's nice to have that. I use cad yellow medium hue, put a little quinacridone in it, put a little black in it, put some white in it. And I think it's brighter. Oh, and more yellow than yellow oxide. Okay, I used, oh gosh, I can't even remember. It's been a couple days. I think I just used a 2-inch, it doesn't really matter. I think I used a 2-inch cheap brush to get that color on there. It really doesn't matter. I painted it quite flat. I let it dry overnight before I traced. I had printed out the photo to 12 inches by 12 inches. Oh, this tip might help you. I haven't tried it yet, and I think it works for the free version of Canva. But in Canva, you go under apps and you can put in the image 12 inches by 12 inches and you can say split image. If any of you have tried that or done that, let me know in the comments. I divide mine in Photoshop. I'm an old graphic designer, so I'm still pretty good at Photoshop and still use it. I use it when I photograph my paintings to color correct. Okay, getting a little off topic. So I'm using what I call my primary colors because they're not all actual primaries. They're all Liquitex. They're all basics except for one. Mars Black, Titanium White, Cad Yellow Medium Hue, Quinacridone Magenta, and Phthalo Blue Green Shade. The Phthalo Blue Green Shade is a heavy body and a primary. These are close. I like mixing with them. I made an orange, put some black in it, and made a brown. And then it was a little bit warmer. Use that for down here. Also add a little bit of white to it as I come up to where the edge of the table, we'll call it a table, is. Then I put some more gray in it and used it more thin. I should say I used this 3/4 inch flat brush from Royal and Langnickel. Had it a little bit more thin. You could use water or matte medium. And then layered it over that gold background. What else? Ended up pretty much finishing the camera before I popped in, just because I didn't have that much that I had videoed. That camera could be done. I'll give you an up close look. I'm gonna quit for today because I don't. Oh, you can. Well, maybe you can't see. The lights kind of come in my studio and then make dappled light onto my painting. Although I could shut the blinds. I shut the blinds and I put up like, garbage bags or like an old sheet to help block the light coming in. Hang on, guys. I'm looking for something to put this in, and I'll give you an up close look of the camera. So I'm painting the camera on the loose side. Like, I'm not putting all the little words in there. There is a rim that I left out, and I'm not sure if I need it. I need to step back and take a look at the camera. And then I painted it Mars black and titanium white and mixed shades of gray with those two colors. And then I came back with some browns and some kind of gold colors to warm it up a little bit. Okay. Oh yeah, there's that dappled light I was talking about. Here, we'll get it over here so it's not in the light and you can see it. Gosh, I'm off to the side and I can't get it focused because of my glasses. But when I look at it, I think it looks pretty good. I definitely need to get the rest of the painting done. There you can kind of see the gold showing through. I think I'm gonna let that stay like that. It doesn't show through as much down here. Oh, sorry about the light. I'm gonna have the suitcase be more orange. I think it's a book on how to use this camera. I'm just gonna paint it kind of yellowed white. Put a shadow under here. I don't know that there is one. Oh, I think there'd be like little, here, I'm gonna look at the reference photo. I think that there'd be little, almost like feet underneath that camera. Oh, and I can't hear. There we go. A lot of stuff going on. I don't know if I need to put that in or not. Oh, the blue is a nice bullseye. That calls a lot of attention. It's not, a third would be about right here. So it's not quite on a third. I worried more about how much space there was for the camera. And then also this handle. Kind of put those on the third too. Okay guys, hopefully a few of those comments help. I'll be back in a bit. I'm calling it done. This one took me 10 hours, I think. And when I look into my phone, I don't particularly like the streaky up and down background. But when I'm sitting here and then when I step back from it, I like it quite a bit. So it could just be, it could be some of the glare. Just, sometimes I'm using my phone. It might be over sharpening it or something. Because it looks lighter up here than it is in person. I'll give you a close-up tour and hopefully a screenshot. I linked the reference photo in the video's description and I cropped it. I'm glad I cropped it. At first I wasn't going to because I was worried about painting over onto the side. But I didn't put in, like there's another lock I didn't even worry about how it would be. I just carried over the leather parts of the suitcase. So that worked great, because that's really all I need. You know, if they put it in a float frame and they see part of it, or they don't frame it at all, it carries over the main parts of the painting. Let's see. I took a black and white photo because this looks too light to me in person, and it looks too light when I look at my phone. But when I take a black and white photo, the value is good. This is a little darker than the reference photo, maybe. But maybe not, because I'm looking at my reference photo. The orange-ish, it's kind of a raw sienna color, except for it's more orange. Here, I'm grabbing raw sienna. Oh yeah, that's more brown. This actually, over here, has some quinacridone in it. You could use raw sienna though. But since my cad yellow medium hue, my quinacridone magenta are semi-transparent colors, even though I put a little black in it, my orange and rusty colors are going to be semi-transparent, and that's okay because I can build up layers, build up richness. Brush stroke direction does help you. Like there's a little bit of a shine, there's a little bit of a shine. This is a reflection. I ended up putting some of the details in on the handle. The reference photo, it's quite a beat up handle, but I didn't put, it's a neat handle, but I just didn't want to talk about it that much. All that detail in there. I found the locks and the I don't know what you call these bolts. The hardware, there we go, to be really fun to paint. But really it's shapes and values. And then this, as I think I mentioned, is a big bullseye, but this is also a bullseye. Circles are bullseyes. This is the only blue. Now I could tie in some blue, but I kind of like that the only blue is like right here. I'm saying this is the star of our show. Well, and the other thing I started seeing as this got done, so I did not like this painting until towards the very end, and that happens quite a bit. It's kind of like you're reading a good book, and when I say I didn't like it, I was enjoying it. I'm enjoying putting the colors down, mixing the colors. And then you get to the climax, and then the book's over and you don't want it to end. That's kind of what happens here. Like when I was starting to paint this stuff and this, I was like, oh, I'm really liking it now. I wasn't gonna put in the stitching, and then I did, and then I wasn't liking it. But gosh, when I look at my phone, it looks great. When I'm sitting here, maybe a foot away, I'm not crazy about it. Anything else? Oh, I took some matte medium and white and just glazed, I'll say glazed over the book to bring up the value and to kind of calm it down. It's chalky looking, which is why I hesitated calling it glaze. But the value is more important than, you know, whether it looks chalky or not. And then I had originally, I don't know if I said this already, but I had originally written out the letters because I think it's the manual for the camera. If you guys know what kind of camera that is, and you can kind of see like a photo or a drawing of the camera on top of that little booklet. I didn't want to put all that in, and I had CONO, and like it just looked, I don't know, too rough to me. So then I remembered, I don't know what artist said, just put in the shapes of the letters, just like anything else. And so I have just some different shapes. So I have the center of the O's. You really can't tell that's a C, and you really can't tell that's an N. Oh, here, let's do this while I'm thinking of it. I'm looking for something to point with. Maybe I'll grab a blue one that'll stand out. So, like, I don't have every detail where you'd stick in the key to unlock the latch. But one of the things that makes it work, and I'll get a little closer here, is this. It's not a bright highlight, but the highlight on the right side of that keyhole. And then a little dot of light over there. You have to put in all the details and then warm this area up. Also makes it look a little rustier. Hopefully you guys can see that. So the highlights will make it look shinier. when they're strong highlights. But even the soft highlight just gives it a little more realism and a little more interest. I think those details are really fun. Also why this painting would take longer. And then putting in I originally put it in white, all the little stitching, and then I came back with all the little dark dots and tried to make them random. And then I glazed over them. You can see these are kind of orange. And then I came back and added some white to these over here. So that takes time, but that's also fun. All right, let's do a screenshot. Oh, the letters on there, you can see the letters on that booklet. And another thing that really, people don't look at it this way unless, well, some might, if they're an artist or something. But this corner's turned up, so that little dark area really is neat and adds a little bit more interest. Just like this is kind of light over here because it's turned up. Okay, let's see if I can do a screenshot. My lines aren't, this is pretty straight. I used T-square. But like when I painted the circles and stuff, they're rough. They're not perfectly round. You could work and get them round. You could use like a circle template too to help you. Or trace something round. I didn't. I did it by hand. I think that's pretty square. Okay. And I didn't put every little detail on the knobs on the top of the camera. But I did come back and glaze over some yellows and browns. Because otherwise that camera's gonna be so cool when the rest has warmth to it. Okay. Kind of faked you out. I give you an up close look and then I pull it back. The blue in that lens is fun. It's one of the reasons I like the photo. The other reason is my daughter and I have we have junk stock here. It's twice a year. And she's purchased some old Suitcase and cameras, and I have one old 1913 camera, which is really fun. So there's a look at the stitching, the reflection of the camera. I made this a little bit too big, but I don't think anybody would know unless I say it. I'm gonna back up a little bit. There's all the hardware. And I wasn't liking that leather handle, and now I love it. There's some quinacridone in here. I don't really see that in a reference photo, but it's fun. Just kind of adds a little more warmth to it. Okay, I'll show you this side. There's more than one light source. If I remember when I set it down, I'll talk about that. There's stitching on top of the Suitcase, but I didn't put it in. I just felt like it was getting to be too much. Okay. How do you know it's gonna be too much? I don't. You know, I could say it that way. I could say I just didn't want to. You know, I just didn't want to. Oh, light source. So there's definitely one from the top. The top of the Suitcase is lighter than the front, but it's also got a little bit of light from over here. So the main light source, well, actually, that's not true either. There's lots of light coming this way because the front of this camera is strongly lit. So I feel like it's coming, the main light source is from here. There might be another one, like a window or something. Like this is lighter over here, so it's definitely coming from the left. Well, on everything. Okay. I feel like I get confusing and then I think I over-explain. Let me know if I'm making sense. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Or on the About Me part of YouTube, I have a public email if you want to email me. I just love hanging out with you. I super appreciate your support. I could not do this without you. Great big happy art hugs, and I hope to chat with you soon. Bye, guys.